In this very quick video guide, I want to show you a couple of tools that you can use in Blender if you want to create some kind of ancient architecture, and also if you want to create modern architectural elements like beams and pillars and columns. You can see here this could be like a steel column. So I want to start from the beginning. Let's create a new general file, and I'm gonna start here just by deleting the cube, and then I'm gonna go to Edit, Preferences, and I need to search for Extra, and I need to activate the extra mesh object. This is the one we're gonna use in this video, and we're gonna go to Add and go to Mesh, and now you can see there are extra objects in there that they are not in the default version. And if you go all the way down here, you find the extras, and we have Beam Builder and Wall Factory. So let's start with the Beam Builder, and you can see it's going to create a beam right away, which is a closed shape beam. It's called the box profile beam. So if I expand this panel down here, we can see that I can change the operator parameters. So first of all, I can change the type. So if I move this aside, we can see also the other. So I'm gonna add mesh, and again, extra and beam builder. And then the other one is U profile. And again, add mesh, beam builder, and you have all the others. So the C profile, L, I, and T. Now my favorite is I, and I also call this double T. And you can see this is really popular in architecture. It's used to be in steel, so it's a really strong beam or pillar. And we can change here some effects like the thickness. We can taper. We can change the width and the depth and the height. So if you want this to become a pillar instead of a beam, how do you do that? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You can just copy and paste it, and perhaps you can rotate like this. And if you hold Control and choose an axis, you can rotate it more precisely. So this is going to be 90 degrees rotation. And then we have the possibility also when we create, let's go to Add again and Mesh, Extra, Beam Builder. So if I change this, let's do the the T profile. So if I change the orientation from here, so I can use the view or the 3D cursor. Now, if I use the view, but if I go like in a frontal view like this, elevation view, and I use the view, it's going to go perfectly straight up and in vertical. So this is another way you can quickly place that in vertical. Okay, so I think these are really useful if you do like modern architecture and modern buildings and design. But you also have another tool which we're gonna see in this video to complete the video. So again, I'm gonna go to Add Mesh and again into the extra, and let's open up the Wall Factory. Now, Wall Factory, you can see it's a more complex, and as soon as you move it or rotate it, you lose all the editing parameters here. So I'm just gonna like push this aside together with the other elements here that I created, and then we're gonna do another one just to show you here. So let's go to Add, Mesh, Extras, and Wall Factory. Now, before we exit this, we have a lot of parameters here that we can use. Now we can start by changing the proportions and the bottom and the top of the wall, and then we can also start to change merge blocks. You can merge blocks together. You can see it works like a generator. It's going to generate these bricks and place it in there. You can change the variance, you can change the minimum, you can change the height, you can change the variance of the height, of the width, and of the depth. And so you can create more randomized walls. So they all look like kind of old walls. And then you have grout. You can change the grout thickness if you want, like, oops, just went back. Let me just recreate that. And usually it's gonna take the last one that you have done. And be careful not to like mess too much, otherwise it's gonna lose its consistency. Okay, so you can see this is a really, hold wall. And then you have depth variance. You can also change the type of wall. You can make it curved and radial. You can make it just curved. And again, you can change the curvature, and also you can use openings, and you can repeat the openings, and you can also have simple openings like this, or you can have like these arcs, like medieval arcs, or you can change the curve, make it more well, not so high. And then again, you have thickness. You can also add a bottom arc, and you can add other slots in there. You can repeat those slots, and you can change the indents. So you can see it just works like a generator. So just play around with it, and you will figure out all the single elements. And again, I can change the vertical and the bottom, and then we can make horizontal slots. And then we also have kernels, and we have shelves, which let me see where they are. So left, bottom. So I don't really see them. Oh, there you go. So those are shelves. And also, yeah, you can switch to the side. And you also have steps. So you can add some steps. There you go. There they are. So I can increase the width of the steps and the depth and the positioning. So I'm just gonna change here, and the risers. And you can only make the steps, the direction. You can change the direction. You can place it here on the backside, and so on. So you have all these other parameters you can play with. But I'm gonna stop here for this video guide. I hope you understand, and these are really simple objects to create, and then you just need to play around and experiment. Now, if you're interested in architecture, you will find a video course in 3D architecture in Blender, also other courses in the channel. You will find video guides about Blender and also other software, 3D software for architecture. So this will be all for this video guide. Please subscribe if you want to stay updated, and join the channel if you want to thank us or if you want to support us. Thanks, and see you in the next.